Hello! It has been a while. I'm so sorry it's been delayed. I know it's been like 2 weeks into March and I still have to upload what I read in February. I am very busy with school at the moment, like to the extent where it's rehearsals for me and it's show week actually, so I don't know why I chose today to film, but I was like, I should film today and maybe I'll upload it tomorrow. That's the plan. I didn't read much in February. You know, it's busy. School's really getting to me this year. I wonder why. Did you know university gets harder the farther you go in? Yeah. Oh, the reason why I'm in a different area, I'm actually in my living room versus being upstairs. I don't know. I was hanging out down here doing schoolwork, and I was like, you know what? I'll film downstairs. Like, it might be nice. It's like more air. There's more light in here versus my room. So that's kind of why. If you hear noises, we do have 2 fish tanks just over there, so you might hear the water from there. So yeah, I'm sitting in the window. So fun. Let's just get into it. I only read 7 books. I didn't even look at before I started how behind I am. I think I'm like 10 books behind and like 4,000 pages behind. Audiobooks, I'm on track with my audio time listening, because I listen to it while I make my lunch or my supper. I listen to it while I'm getting ready for school or getting ready for bed. So or on my way to school even, like it's 20 minutes. So it's easy. I don't have the time or the energy to focus on a book right now. I'm trying to read more. It's just with having to memorize stuff. Like I still have to memorize things before I even go to school tonight, for my rehearsals tonight. So we're gonna just hope I get somewhere. But yeah. First book I read was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I didn't read it actually, it was audio, and yeah, it was fine. I don't have any rating for it because I've read all these books a million times. My rule is, again, I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I only will listen to audiobooks if I read the book, which limits audiobooks, I find, but it's also good because I don't want to associate. It's like when you watch a movie and then you read the book. You have the actor's face kind of glued into the book for you. So yeah. I also think this is backwards because I wrote it down backwards. So it's gonna be like most recent to not recent, but it's fine. I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. 5 stars. So I'm an Ali Hazelwood fan. Like, I want to buy all her books. I use my roommate's Kindle to read her books right now. Ali Hazelwood, her books to me are just so fun and they're so fast paced. I read 2 of them in February. They're so fast paced. They're like, you know it's gonna be an okay ending. You know it's not gonna be like the end of the world, but like it still kind of gets you on the edge of your seat. I really liked Bride because Bride was her first fantasy one that I know of. It's her first fantasy one, and it's sort of like a vampire and a werewolf and they have to get married, and it's this whole thing, and you're like, oh yeah, that seems like questionable, but it was just really good because it still had the Ali Hazelwood charm to it, like slightly. But I was telling my roommate, who I read books, like we share book taste, that I was like, oh my god, like I was sitting there forgetting I was reading an Ali Hazelwood book. Like, it's a very different, but it was very good, and I would highly, highly recommend it if you are into romance, fantasy, but if you want something a little bit lighthearted, and if you just love Ali Hazelwood. It's not even that long, it was 399 pages, so easy reading. The next one was also Ali Hazelwood, it's Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. 4 stars. It was cute. That's all I can say. It's about like 2 chess people like competing in chess or something. I don't know. Ali Hazelwood's characters always have some issue, and then they're always connected by something. It was a contemporary romance, but it was really cute and funny, and I would recommend it to anyone because it's just, again, it's 352 pages. If you need something light to read, if you don't want to read something heavy, and I know right now everything's so heavy. Like, I find lots of books I'm reading, I'm like, okay, this is a lot. And even with school, like we deal with lots of heavy topics. We don't have very light, fun, fluffy topics, which like is fine, but sometimes you need something. So those are two. I finally finished The Knowing Body, The Artist as a Storyteller in Contemporary Performance. This was a book I read for class, so obviously I don't have a rating for it. I don't even know how many pages it was, honestly. I think it was like 100. It wasn't very well. So I'm in school for theater and business, mostly theater. I'm a very creative person. I'm creative, that's what I'm doing. And so obviously you have to read stuff. And so we're reading this book, which is, like I said before, The Knowing Body, The Artist as a Story in Contemporary Performance. It is not the best book you could read for what its purpose is. I think there are newer books that might make a better impact to you, as well as, especially for me in theater, I believe, like I'm not one to shun reading. Obviously, this whole channel so far is literally just reading, and I love reading. I don't think theater is one of those things that you can learn a lot of by reading. I think reading is a supplementary to the actual learning, which is doing. Because theater is such a, you have to understand how you do it before, because a lot of theater is doing. I can't go too much into it, obviously this isn't, but it's, if you are interested and you're not someone who does theater but you want to learn about theater, this is an okay book for you. If you want to learn more in-depth stuff, choose a different book. Anne Bogart is one that comes to mind, or Twyla Tharp. I hadn't, like, their books are better. I don't like them obviously because I believe they're supplementary to actually doing the art form. But if you're curious to what your theater friends might be doing or might have to go through or think about, those are some really good authors. But yes, take it all with a grain of salt as well, especially when reading theater stuff, because theater is so subjective, sorry. Theater is so subjective that everything is different to every person. So yeah, that's a little tangent. Moving on. I read The Clash of Three Courts by Chloe C. Panera, I'm sorry I'm saying your name wrong. It was the 4th book in the Heir to Rise series. Oh, I have so many thoughts. It was 3 stars, first off. It follows Nick and Taria, I think is how you say her name. And not the main 2, who I forgot their names are because I need to finish the series, so I need to do that. The first half was definitely a rough one. It was definitely difficult to finish because it was very... So when you finish the 3rd book, it's when you read Throne of Glass, it's very much, okay, like, it's Empire Storms Tower of Dawn. It kind of feels like that type of jump, where it's like, oh my god, what happens to Aelin? Oh my god, what's happening to, oh, Chaol's on a boat. It kind of feels like that with this series, which isn't bad. It's just, we don't have the same connection. So for the first half of the book, you really don't care about the characters very much. In like the second half, you start to care more. I forget, there was something major that happened, but I was like, oh my god. So no, it's okay, 3 stars. It's also 566 pages, so to get through the part where you're like, oh, I want to just find out what happens, it does take a bit. Another book I finally finished, which I did read for class originally, I just didn't finish it in class, was the Climate Change book by Greta Thunberg. Quick disclaimer, it's not actually by Greta Thunberg. She, I think, wrote excerpts for the book, but she helped pull people's articles and essays to put in the book. And I think she probably organized it or helped organize it or something. It's a good book. It's very depressing. I took an environmental ethics course, which is why I read that book. Oh, shocker, I know. Also, I do have some of these books. I just didn't bring them downstairs because I'm very tired. You hear it in my voice. So, I apologize. Next time. It's very depressing because it's literally like, this is how our planet is dying. This is what we're doing to kill our planet. Oh, by this year we can't go back. We can only try to survive and not make it worse. So that's fun to read. Do I think it's necessary? Yes. I don't think I'm the person who needed to read it because I'm someone who's very, I don't want to say aware, but I am very aware of what's happening around the world. I live in an area of the world where climate change has affected us greatly. So I understand it already, and I already see the cause of climate change. So I don't think I'm one to necessarily need to read it. I think it's the higher ups who control all the carbon emissions and all that, and who decide the laws should be reading books like this. But if you are interested and you don't know much about stuff, because it doesn't just talk about North America or Europe, it talks about Africa, South America, Asia, it talks about everywhere in the world. So it makes you understand the different things that happen everywhere. So if you want to get a little bit sad, yeah, it's not a book you read, like you read it with another book. You don't just sit and read this book at one go. Next book, and the final book, which also was the first book I read in February. Oh my goodness. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas, which is the third, and it better be the final Crescent City book in that series. I wrote 3 things. I will tell you the 3 things I wrote. 4.75 stars. 838 pages. Yeah, it was a doozy. And holy shit. That's all I wrote. And you're like, Jane, that's really odd. I'm like, yeah, I know it's really odd. I can't like explain it any better. This is gonna be a blatant major spoilers for House of Flame and Shadow. Major spoilers. Okay, skip ahead till, I don't know, I'm not talking. Because at the end is just a little wrap up. So if you don't want to hear anymore, bye. But I need to explain this to you. So House of Flame and Shadows picks up where the second book leaves off, okay? We all know this. When I tell you that the entire book I was thinking someone was going to die, I was sitting on the edge of my seat, like barely breathing because I was so scared. Not to mention, Sarah J Maas really decided to like go gory with the details and be like, what if I do details about gnawing, like there's a scene where somebody has to bite someone's hand off, and she goes into details about it, and it's so disgusting, and it's also, oh my god, people die, everyone dies, people die, there's a war, I guess it's not my major spoilers, but whatever, it's intense, and the ending is happy, so it can't possibly be another book. Who knows? It's Sarah J Maas. Who knows? But it can't be another book. I say no, please. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so that's what I read in February. So, to overview, the February stats were 7 books, 2,208 pages, and 12.5 hours. Not great. I'm behind by a lot. Will I catch up? I think. My school's almost done. I have a month, just under a month left. So I'll have time. I'll be working more, but I'll also be letting myself breathe a bit, which means I can read more. So there you are. Thank you all for watching. As always, I hope you all are having fun reading. Tell me what you're reading now, because I want more recommendations. I feel like I have a massive TBR. Don't get me wrong. It's probably like, I don't know, 50 books long. Yeah, but I need more. Give me more suggestions of what to read. And let me know what you're reading right now. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. I don't even know what else I'm gonna say. So, bye!